Good morning. Starting in 2 minutes.
Shut your fucking mouth, I'll give you what you came to say. Play my face, I'll play the villain, put the blame on me.
What's up? All right. It is 4 a.m. in New York. Try to get my London hour levels in there really quick. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Made it. Mr. Grayling. Mr. Tunes. Mr. Wixie. Mr. Switch. Man, what happened to the yen pairs, man? I'm just getting caught up. I haven't seen this. Holy shit. I did not see this. Because I haven't looked at the charts today. Oh, this was, yeah. The high impact news, right? Get myself caught up here. Hold on. Okay. Oh, that's on yesterday. Oh, that's what it was, huh? Something happened with the monetary policy statement? Not that I care, but apparently so. So the yen, off of this, it went buck wild. When was the last time I heard somebody say buck wild? Well, there's your yen. Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's already had a 50% retracement, it looks like, too. It may not be the end of the world. Buck wild on the yen there. Okay. Thanks for the factual information. Bank of Japan stepped back their forward policy easing of last month. Yes. Okay. That's a good old school term, dude. I think it is old school, huh, isn't it? The yen went buck wild. Okay. Wilding out. Wilding out. Oh, time to punch in. So what do we got? Besides our buck wild yen. Of course, first order of business. I mean, do I even want to deal with anything on the yen right now? Could have held that long from yesterday. It would have been done for the month. I would have seen you said see you in February. Actually, I still would have showed up. Yeah. I mean, the dollar pairs are normal. And okay, we'll take it as it comes with the yen pairs. Take it as it comes. I mean, it looks like a real deal move. It's not. It's not some sort of trap. I'm not looking for it to suddenly completely reverse. I mean, if you look at the yen index, it's stabilized and almost had a half a retracement of the down move anyway. So I think it's all under control from here. It happened. We're good. We'll take in the information. Weak U.S. dollar today so far. Looks like it may be continuing. Buck Wild, Carbon. You know about that? He's 28. He doesn't know nothing about Buck Wild. He's thinking of a buck, the animal in the wild. The wild buck. Buck naked. Wixie, what's the meaning of Buck Wild? I mean, there's wild. You know, like wild and crazy. There's wild, and then there's buck wild. This is buck wild right here. Okay. Oh, my God. All right. First order of business, London hour trade. Nothing yet. We shall be patient on that, of course, as usual. Doesn't take too long, usually. What's up with the U.S. dollar? Get caught up on what happened here. Too many lines. We are kind of ranging here for a few days. What's today? Wednesday? Friday is here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all in the same price area. But we did hit that high volume there with a downward result. Let's take a closer look at that. This one had an upward result. This one had a eventual upward result. Okay. What went on in there? A little more detail, huh? It is our high volume background. We want to know what it is. Yeah, that's just straight up selling. There was no accumulation down here or anything. Big fat sell orders going on. Not any sort of accumulation and strength came in. Interesting. Here we had some buying. That's early today. How seriously do I want to take that? This is the area that we sold off from. I really want to be aware of it. Maybe we'll hit sellers here again. Maybe that's our spot. I assume that was on news. What was 10 o'clock my time yesterday? 10 o'clock. Yesterday, Tuesday. Nothing. What time was that? 10. What happened at 10? There's nothing on the calendar. You guys know anything? What happened at 10? That doesn't just happen by itself. Was Euro driven? Back out of here. We did have extremely high volume all around. Certainly, yes, selling on the euro. Correct. Euro driven. What's driving your trade? That was me. I made that video. You're right. What happened? That doesn't matter why, does it? Something happened. Yeah, so it was euro. Yeah, EG is going to show it. Euro Swiss is going to show it. Yeah. Euro driven. At this time when the euro markets are closed or about to be closed, late in the day, with nothing on the calendar? Huh. Not something you see very often. Okay. So you have the wild move on the euro, which created high volume overall. Besides the euro, we have a bullish result. I mean, I'm generally bullish against the US dollar, as I've been saying. So, besides the euro, we did accept these prices and move up off of that volume. Interesting. Interesting background today. Oh gosh, here comes the spam. I'm just taking it in. It's like I'm curious what happened on the euro, but it doesn't really matter. As I say, why? Why is the one thing we don't need to know? Who, where, what? Why? Whatever. They may be not going to raise rates so fast anymore. Well, I wonder who told you that. I know somebody who works in real estate. I say, you're going to be fine this year. You're good. You're good. You're going to stay busy. You're good. I have nothing besides maybe chart facts, and I've kind of been doing this a little while, and I just know there will be no housing crash. The rates are coming down. Anyway, I won't get into all that. I'm extremely bullish on markets. And I put my money where my mouth is. We got a little pullback, huh? That oil broke 80. I haven't sold any off yet. I've been telling you about that, what I've been doing. Where did I buy? Anyway. Looking good on the oil. Yeah, we're here for the Forex, I know. Okay, it's kind of wild out there. Kind of buck wild. Oil gonna go a bit more for you, in particular, Carbon. All right, let's go for Carbon. Oil's going to 100 a barrel. 120 a barrel. Maybe we'll see climactic weakness and get the hell out. Sounds like a plan. The key is to stay above 80. I know what you're trading isn't showing the price 80, but, just pull up your regulars. Because 80 was the resistance. It went buck wild. And I like the acceptance of the price up here. We're not rejecting these higher prices. So, yes, I am not selling off yet. So what are we doing today on the Forex? Quite a move early. Okay, Carbon's the expert now. What are you, 3 months in? You're calling. You're calling the shots. Sounds good. Whatever the chart says. Whatever the chart says. Yeah. It's bullish. It's going. And unless there's any trouble, we hold. Sounds good to me. So what are we doing in the Forex? The background is so odd, right? What I'd like to do today is get a little information that's not buck wild, that's normal, and go from there. Maybe we test this area, which is not a scientific box here. It's just kind of telling me this is up here. Okay, there's the closes. That's how I like to draw it. Just catching the above the closes. All right. Maybe we test that. Maybe we have weakness here. All this volume is going to appear low, too. That's the thing right now. You got to keep that in mind. This is unusually large volume for the time of day. So it's like once you get that out of the picture, you see. So I'm taking it as it comes. I'm not so worried about the buck wild background. It's not a normal phase of, accumulation, distribution, markup. It's like reactive moves, right? It's reactive moves, especially the euro there. But again, that volume is so big, it makes everything look small. As soon as you get that off the chart, you see what we're looking at. Which, if we zoom out, this is regular volume for the time of day. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe a little on the high side, actually. So that's kind of annoying right now that it makes everything look small. You got to get it off the chart, and then you see it for what it is. Let's see what happens up here. Let's just take it as it comes. London Open. Pretty chill. Euro Open had that activity. Take it as it comes. Yeah, perhaps. Just trying to get my bearings on all this buck wildness. Because they don't have the same situation, the same result. As was pointed out. It's not US dollar driven, so we don't have the same background on the dollar pairs. It's euro driven. Well, knowing how these guys operate, the smart ones. Well, first I'll say knowing how the dumb ones operate. There's a whole bunch of stop losses on shorts right here. Smart money wants to get to the point and do something. They might do this. If looking to short, they're particularly eyeing that. Just saying. We'll take it as it comes. It's almost weird to have such a lack of correlation. Yeah. But it is going to start to come back, as it always does. New high ground here. Right, we got to take it individually. New high ground in an uptrend on AU. And that tells us about the health of the trend and how good it is based on how much supply selling is coming in. That's a lot of volume for the time of day. Again, it looks kind of small after that. But if you notice the time of day, certainly higher than usual. And you see the close, you see the reaction, right? And that's what I just pointed out here, right? New high ground. Let's see the 5 minute. Are we really seeing weakness? Get this big thing out of my way. There we go. Yes. A mix of buying and selling. Interesting. Jeez. Do I even want to mess with the pound yen London hour trade with this to the left? All that buck wildness. I've been working out for almost 2 months. I'm getting kind of big. This is cool. Just looked at my arm. Hell yeah, let's go. Okay, so new high ground here. Nothing special as far as any reason to short. But you know those stop losses are there, and that could be the thing today. Let's keep that over there. It's a possibility. This up move certainly not over. We've seen the new high ground. Seen some weakness, but certainly also buying on the test. 14 EMA, and then here, not so much weakness. This looks like a little stop hunt on long position, so I don't think this is over. Generally looking bullish against the US dollar. Surprise, surprise, right? I've only been saying that for 2 weeks. Generally looking bullish against the US dollar. There's your downtrend. New low ground, not much strength. Weakness earlier today on the US dollar, and that's playing out. Hey, look at the reverse scalp pattern. Yeah. Well, as far as the London hour trade, the pound yen is not far away. If it tests this low, it shows us something. So there's that possibility. I'm getting too buck wild with the work. I went all out yesterday. Man, I feel good. Ugh. It only took a freaking visit to the hospital to say, I don't want to do that again. Weak shit. No weak shit allowed. So, London hour trade could give something on the pound yen soon, since we're down here. Pound dollar could give something if we test here. And with the rest of the dollar pairs, generally bullish. Nothing right now I'd want to get in on that. The rest of the yen pairs with the buck-wild yen. What are they up to? What are those lines? That's old. So yeah, with this kind of wacky, I don't want to keep saying it, but I will. Buck wild background. Yesterday's euro move, today's yen move, right? Not business as usual. And our trading depends on smart money doing their usual things, and that was a reactive move. That was not a usual situation, as you could tell. So it's good to just take in the information now as it comes. I would think, yes. Kind of reset and see what's going on now. Take it as it comes. Get some new information. No cucks, no betas. Yep. That's the plan. So maybe not. You know how it goes. More times than not. But we'll see if we get the London hour trade. And as for the rest of the pairs, I just want to see how things are behaving since we have kind of the wild background. That is the plan. And again, we're generally behaving bullish against the US dollar. Weak US dollar is the story. So we take it as it comes. We're here. So yeah, there is the light impact pound news in 3 minutes. Keep that in mind here. Every video, Pete gets a word in his head, and then that's half of the video. It's buck wild today. Mr. Tunes. See you soon. Thanks. That's funny, though. Yesterday it was the guy that takes MACD signals while he plays Call of Duty. Don't worry, I won't do the voice. Oh, this fucking guy, all he does is talk, he doesn't take any trades. Hey, no pressure. Hey you. No pressure to take a trade today. Hey, Buck Wild, my friend. Richard Nixon. Is that Richard Nixon? I am not a crook. I saw him once at a basketball game. I'm like, I thought he was dead. I mean, I think he is now, but you ever see somebody in real life that you thought was dead? Due to core CPI news, market behavior is inappropriate. Absolutely. Well, take it as it comes. Buck Wild background today. Generally looking bullish against the US dollar. I don't see a long entry at this time. Uh-oh. So, London hour trade just broke. And I do not like the behavior. So if you know the London hour trade, close below here, you're looking for a short entry. The lower the volume, the better. We're higher than the previous 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't like that. Secondly, we just missed an entry price. And that's that. Could be a trap anyway. Wow. That thing just dropped 40 pips in what, 10 seconds? I mean, the entry was okay. The volume's a bit on the high side. But once that closed, that's not even enough time to get in the trade. That was crazy. Well, if the volume was low here, I'd be a little sad that I missed it. But, again, it's higher than the previous 3 or 4. It's sort of just an okay entry. Not the highest, best probability, right? The lower the volume, the better on the breakout trade. So we're kind of medium. An increase over the previous bars. So that's not great anyway. And then, of course, now just missing the entry price. Obviously, I wouldn't chase it. This would be like a first target area. We're so far away. This is 40 pips from entry. So, nothing to do there. And I'm really okay with it. I mean, you got to be okay with it, whatever. But with this weird background, I mean, I almost, it's like I had in my mind, like, I don't want to take the London hour trade. I mean, I kind of would have, or at least, deal with it in the moment. So I'm kind of relieved in a way, Like, are the markets going to be normal? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Is it business as usual right here? No. Between this and yesterday, if you're just joining us, this madness, it's not business as usual in the background. And I feel like that's giving more of a chance of some chaotic stuff and taking away some probabilities. And that's why I'm not all mapping out, I mean, maybe we get a reversal up there. It's all a big wait and see, take it as it comes kind of day with that buck wild background. So I'm okay. I kind of got out of it, you know what I mean? The setup is a setup, but at the same time, yeah, it's not business as usual to the left here. There's really no identifiable phase and typical activity of smart money to the left. Again, it's reactive moves. Very reactive. So I rather let the regular activity come back a move or two, show us what's going on, right? Where are they positioning from? Where's the imbalances, right? Track them, see what's going on. So I'm really okay not being in the London hour trade here. Dark screen? Colin says dark screen. Anyone else having an issue with the screen being dark? Pound is very strong. I will check to top breakout. Top breakout. Man, that's a lot of fun. I'm not sure I trust the London hour trade today. The London hour trade, from what I've seen now, but testing it a few months, the more business as usual, the better. We just had pound news 4 minutes ago also. The more business as usual in the charts, the better the London hour trade seems to be. That's the last thing we're dealing with today is business as usual when we look at the background. Then we see this, which looks like a complete trap move if this becomes strength. This is not usually what we see here. I will say, based on my very long experience at looking at charts, I would like to wait. I feel like anything can happen at any point. I feel like there's we need to get back to business as usual. You know what I'm saying? You guys are good on the screen? Okay. I mean, generally, right, my trades are based on, news move is the last thing I'm worried about. Sudden news events are the last thing I'm worried about. It's the opposite. We want to repeat, right? High probability situations. You've seen enough of them, they tend to look the same, right? And so when you have that element of buck wild moves and to your left, yeah, it's only so good setups are going to be right now. I mean, if we have a trending move and I get a scalp setup, I'm definitely good with that. Ricardo, morning Pete, can you go over what looks so strange about the recent background? Apologies, I joined late. You see it. Reactive moves. We like to know, where is the smart money positioning from? In what direction? Are they getting in? Are they holding? Or are they getting out? We have this with the euro yesterday. We have this with the yen today. Okay. Reactive moves. And when smart money is doing their thing and it's high probability, we're saying, here's the step 1, here's step 2, and now we know what step 3 is. I'm going to get into a trade. You know what I mean? So I want to see them figure it out and get back to business as usual. And if I get no trade today, that's absolutely fine. As I say, I'll say it again. If you never have a day where you don't take a trade, you're overtrading, because some days you're just not getting any high probability situation. I'm not predicting that or anything today. We take it as it comes. It's rare that we don't get a trade. It's rare. But everybody just relax. Everybody take it easy. And just say, hey, let's order a drink, okay? Everybody relax. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's that simple thing. Yeah, absolutely. Now, it doesn't mean that big moves can't be something good. They could be climactic ends of a trend. They could be this, they could be that. But following smart money, following what the big guys are doing, they're just coming out of reactive mode, reacting, which is not the majority of the time. And that's not going to give you your usual patterns or usual behavior. So I want to see some of that usual stuff, you know? And here we are, hour and a half only into London session. The first hour is usually jumbled up crap anyway, so we're really, 40 minutes in to tradable conditions. So I'd like to see. This I have marked as a possibility because one thing is for certain. There's a bunch of stop losses on shorts right here. And they could take advantage of that. So, right, we could start to map out what the usual behavior would be, and we'll see if it happens. And we'll watch the behavior here. Everybody relax, order some drinks. I'm telling myself. Not out here to play casino. You know what I'm saying? All right, this guy said he's not taking a trade. All right. So I'm hanging. London hour trade, still a possibility if it looks really good. I'm going to keep my standards high. As always. So we're here. Don't order the drinks. Order some coffee. Cheers, coffee drinkers. Tea, acceptable. I mean, me and Carbon can do like a dance-off live stream. You want to do that? You first, Carbon. Let's have a dance-off and take it really seriously. All right. I swear I show up every day and I'm like, yeah, I was so silly yesterday. I'm going to be more serious today. Very serious. As soon as I show up, I turn silly. Can't help it. Everything about this is ridiculous. Absolutely absurd. we hit some selling. We know the stop losses are up here, and there's certainly some here. But that's the pot of gold right there, right, for the smart money. Everybody knows this, right? Everyone who sold through here, yeah, there's stop losses here. You know, you sold, right? Chasing the move, right? Yeah, got in here, yeah, sold here, right? All the dumb trades. And yeah, there's stop losses up here, certainly. But this is the gold mine where all those sells, right, basically get handed over to the smart money at the best price in large amounts. And then they bring it down. And Eddie Rage quits and plays Call of Duty Warzone. Wastes his life away. Rather be laughing than crying. Sounds good. Collins, you know the feeling? I'm going to be serious. Stop acting like an ass, like a joker all the time. I'm serious right now. Second you get going, you just lose it. You bottled up extrovert side wants to come out somehow, I guess. Ooh, extrovert side. I like that. It's like a side personality. I like that. So you could be an introvert with an extrovert side. Yes, I like it. It's a good one. What if Eddie plays a World of Tanks? Oh, God. Free mobile game. We got past the pound news. That was 15 minutes ago. Light impact, but it was good to get past that. As far as looking at the pound here. Light euro stuff. Listed as light, but we could get some action off of that. What's happening today? PPI is all about the CPI, PPI. CPI, PPI. You know my prediction. I mean, it's for fun. We're not into news predictions, but we're usually right. Surprisingly good will be the change in price of goods. What was the last one? It was unchanged, right? I think we're coming back to reality in prices. It's too much. I mean, the charts are saying it, and also just, you know, those of you out there who have seen the cycles and seen, you know, economy for a while and the way things go. Again, it's not new. We've been dealing with this for a few years, and if you just leave it, people figure it out. Businesses figure it out. They figure out how to make a profit and pay their employees. They figure it out. Or they don't last. And the ones that do figure it out last and take over. It's fine. I think this year is going to be fine. There's no doom and gloom. And I've been telling you Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. This is the year. Isn't that pretty? Wixie, what did I tell you when I said it's finally, when it finally breaks here, what's going to happen? What did I tell you, Wix? You're my witness. When we finally get out of this range, what did I say? I told you it's going to go fast. Pete's calling Bitcoin's going to fly up fast. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yep. And remember why. Quick move. I told you. Because they don't want anyone to get a chance, man. Oh, it's breaking. Oh, let me fund my account again. I'll get to it later. Yeah, we're at 21. And you know what we're going to have to do now? It's no crystal ball, and I am no smarter than the next guy. Maybe a little bit. No. It's not that. I've just seen them long enough. Like you know somebody for 20 years. You know what they're going to do. So they rush this move. Now everybody's buying now, the idiots, right? So we got to go hunt them. And we'll continue. That is the template. I don't make this shit up. They want it all. No Bitcoin for you, no Bitcoin for you, only Bitcoin for us. That's what they're saying. God has spoken. Where? You're silly. Wixie says, me waiting for Fibertrace. Well, there you go. There is weakness here. So it's possible they thinned out some positions, right? And they're waiting for the reaccumulation and buy some more. Anyway, very predictable behavior. Oh, what's happening? Ooh, do we want to do this? It's got to look really good. Let's see where this closes. Oh, gosh, in a minute. Not even. U.S. dollar index. Ugh. Is the pound itself strong, or is this just U.S. dollar pushing? Lower the volume, the better. The higher the close in the bar, the better. London hour potential setup. Volume's not bad. Let's see the 1 minute information. I don't like that. It's a bit too much volume. Let's see. Also, you see how the dollar index keeps stopping on high volume at lower prices? It just takes away some probability here. It's saying that we could bounce, and that would bring this guy down. So if you're saying the lower the volume, the better. It's medium. It's not ideal. Medium. Not terrible. The close is nice. The 1 minute, yeah, that's kind of the clincher there. That's a bit too much activity. And you see the reaction. And again, the quality of the trade is like very much determined by the volume situation. It's not enough volume to go short on the fake break setup either, right? That would have to be higher. Again, it's just medium. I think last week we had a London hour trade that had that situation. And it just chopped around for the next few hours and did nothing. Right? Remember that? It was like, oh, good, we didn't enter because we would have been sitting here in chop anyway, the whole session. I don't remember what it ended up doing, but it wasn't a trade either way, either direction. Again, if this is a fake breakout, it's not surprising. We see the volume on the 1 minute pop up. We're high up. I don't want to chase up here is another thing. You know how it works. What happened with this guy? Yeah. Strength came in. That was an interesting entry because if it was like automated or something, you as soon as that closed, you get in, and that thing dropped 40 pips. Starts doing this off strength, you get out, right? That's it. But as far as obviously the bearishness is not looking very good at all with all that strength, sign of strength, high volume. So it's good to just take it as it comes, I think. Order some drinks. Relax. I mean, you could probably tell from the beginning, I was just not psyched for the London hour trade today. And then part of you was like, well, a setup's a setup. And if it's clean and 100% good, especially if it's really right, take it. Maybe smaller risk. I kind of don't want it right now. Like I said, after those moves to the left, it's good to repeat. I know people joined late. Sorry you hear me say it 10 times. But I got a little buck wild back there, and I want to see business as usual. The crazy euro drop, the crazy yen drop, reactive moves, not pre-positioning. And the more information, it's almost like the more you wait, the better, because you'll get to now piece together whatever the story is now. Now that we had their crazy moves in the background and we're just getting into London session. So you could piece together what the plan is from here if you're patient, right? That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking. But as far as this long, right, it's okay. If you're keeping your standards high on the London hour trade, you'd like lower volume there rather than medium. It's not terrible. I think if the 1 minute volume didn't pop up like that, it would be better. Here's a meanwhile break test continuation. And I'm just not feeling it. As I explained, though, as I just explained. So you get me? Okay. You telling why it's not good is just as valuable as the... Okay, good. Again, if I miss a move, I miss a move. It's the no regrets approach. If I just go in full position knowing I'm already feeling uneasy with this reactive moves in the background, not the usual behavior, and then we get to London Open and I'm just jumping in a trade, full risk, and I take a loss, I'd probably look back and go, with all that going on, I probably should have been more cautious. That's regrettable. Now, if this was low volume, like dip down, you've seen that stuff sometimes, where we're looking for low volume and it really drops, and that 1 minute stuff wasn't there. Okay, half risk, right? But I could almost like talk myself out of it because of that. I'll make it really big there because of that volume. This was also good that the news for the euro, I guess is what created that, had a bullish reaction. That is good for the trade. If high volume appears in a weird spot, like in the middle of a range, the reaction tells you whether you want to define it as strength or weakness. And also, same applies to news moves. If you get a news move, I'm not judging too much by the initial move being up. I want to see the reaction. So it has a very nice reaction off of that, and that was going for it. Well, there it goes. An okay setup. London hour, still playing out well. No regrets. Still playing out well on an okay setup, right? Well, pretty good damn trade setup, right? So I'm in no rush. I'm taking it as it comes. The stop hunt extravaganza could be going on here on the euro. This is probability-wise the highest probability. If it's going to start coming down, it's going to do it off here. Certainly would not want to be buying here. This is yesterday's high. Chasing the move into the high. Past few days, definitely not a place to get in long. That's the option. It's kind of likely that that's going to happen. We'll see. Right? Again, if you know, you know. That's just what they do. I got to fix this for next session. The mic has a lot of background noise for some reason, like hissing. Get that fixed. Yeah, and it's like getting worse over time. The noise actually representing the peace of your environment. Yes, it's actually a waterfall. I'm out in the jungle. My laptop. That's good old analog hiss. Because I'm not plugged directly into my converter because I'm going through a mixing board and compressor, noise gate, EQ. So somewhere in there is a little good old school analog problem going on. Some noise. Oh, here comes the stop hunt on the euro dollar, probably. Whenever the chart says. This is the last of the sellers getting so nervous. Sold all down here. Ugh. Getting very nervous. If we get in there, we're going to see that volume pop up, right? Has to. Already starting to. All right, we'll track that. Meanwhile, this guy's going all right, I guess. I'm not in it. London hour trade. I passed on that today. Considering the buck wild background reactionary moves, the less than perfect setups, passed on that. So euro dollar, we'll keep an eye on that. What else? Going long now on pound yen? This is where I'd want to see low volume. This is a good start, but this is a combination 14. We were looking at this yesterday. 14 EMA, support and resistance. I think it was AJ or AU yesterday. We want a low volume test here. This tells you about buyers. This tells you about sellers. So you see the volume. The lower the better. That's a bit high. You want a no supply kind of situation. One minute says, okay, it's not terrible, like a spike in volume. But that kind of gives you a read on it. The lower the better. Typically when you get this much volume, you end up coming down, whether it's like a double bottom fake break or a little action that goes on there. But yeah, think of the imbalance, the high volume demand, low volume supply. So a bit dangerous because of that. Otherwise, it does look really good on the strength and the fake break confirming. And again, like I was saying yesterday, you could do this break test continuation after seeing lack of supply at higher prices. So it could clean up. But that's that good old pattern where you want to see high volume points at the low volume points on the test, and that's a bit high on the test. Clean up, aisle 9. There you go. Come on, the big stop hunt today. Let's go. Still keep going back to this thing. What am I doing with this thing? What's back there? Not much. It's just very high and chasey. to be going long here, and there's not enough weakness to be going short. And structurally, we've kind of gone sideways, so nothing to do there. Possibly the stop punch short there. This guy with the OK setup on the London hour trade that I passed on. Bit of weakness coming in, nothing terrible, but you see it. It's high, it's late, it's chasey. I'd rather not be in long right there. Dangerous. Okay, we just talked about that. EJ, similar. Is that a fib? Yeah, okay. So if you have some selling here that brings it down, it could be another little dip there. Buying, and then lack of supply could give the long. But that's the situation on the yens. Good strength showing up. Lack of supply, not so much. We'll see. I would rather be buying there anyway. We'll see what we do. This got a fib too? Yeah, I guess so. If I had to take a trade right now based on everything going on, I could just keep going back to this euro-dollar short right here. Think of the pound-dollar last week. Every single day was this in reverse. High, fake break, high, fake break, high, fake break. It works. There's a reason why they do it. Stop hunt. I think every single day last week the pound-dollar did that, right? Fake break of the low of the previous day. Classic maneuver. All right, so I kind of went through all of them. I did go through all of them. Take it as it comes. Found some music, Will Dewey. I need new songs. I'll add some more to the playlist. Maybe at some point. Again, amongst all the madness back here with the euro yesterday, the yen today, everything out of whack, reactive moves, it would just be the ultimate classic move, man. Classic to have this go on. I would be confident with it if it sets up. I'm not the only one looking for this right now, you know what I'm saying? It could be quick, widespread, bam, gets squashed, and you know what's on. It's got to have the lack of demand. Ideally a fake break. Mr. Grayley, the mixing for HSCC. I'm supposed to get something this weekend, maybe Friday. Yeah, man. I'll be mixing. You ready for it? I don't know if I told you. Ambrosia. What's the name of the song? Biggest Part of Me? I think it's called Biggest Part of Me. Sounds a little dirty. Yeah, Ambrosia from 1980. Best Part of Me? I don't know. So yeah, it's yacht rock. I have to mix the laid back yacht rock sound. It'll be fun. Nice relaxing time. Yeah. Oh, you know the song? It sounds like you know the song. I vaguely remember it. I think I was 4 when it came out. And I'm telling people, they all know the song. A lot of people know the song, you know. Classic, yeah. I'm like, okay, this is familiar. How did I miss it? I don't know. Never really checked out Ambrosia. But yeah, that'll be it. I'm so ready to go. It's like I have the sound in my mind. We'll see. Hopefully Friday. Or sooner. Yeah, no low volume tests going on here, so we could go lower there. That is more likely now that we're actually have all that volume with a lower close. We'll see. Likely to actually dip a bit more. Oh, was that a classic CD, like a compilation of classic songs? Yeah. Now they call it yacht rock. Things kind of want to turn, right? You see it. The dollar index strength showing up. We just need that pop and it might all just turn around. I'm really eyeing that thing, I know. Again, AU, nothing to do there. This mediocre long, I skipped. This supply-demand imbalance, so there's no imbalance to take advantage of going long off strength. Too much weakness. That might come around. And that goes for the yen pairs generally. There's that 14 EMA rejection, right? You see it. So even with some buying, you're going to tend to, if there's some selling, hopefully it does, it gives you, again, more buying lower and then lack of selling. And then you're good. Lots of demand, lack of supply. But too much supply right now, I would say, especially here. Telling you that you're $1 short if it comes around. Maybe a bounce off 14 will get us there now. Don't want to wait too long for this thing, huh? Yeah. If I had taken this London hour trade long here, I passed on that as we saw. I would be a little freaked out there with the weakness. I'd probably be getting out at break even or for a small loss even maybe, or trimming it down. I don't like that weakness. I'm glad I passed on it. No regrets. And of course the short here is just crazy. Also, the possibility of, if we don't get the down move on the yen pairs, if we start trending up, the reverse scalp pattern to clearly make a strong move up and get the 14 EMA entry there. And especially with strength, and then ideally lack of supply, of course, shown into higher prices. If that can go away, then there's the potential for that. So if it moves up, there's ways to get in. If it moves down, you gotta be patient. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So we're here, we're patient. Hey, 27, hey. If you're new, welcome. We're doing this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I let you know my trading activity during the session, so the win-loss thing up there, that's real. Or is this guy going to take a trade? All right, all right. And you can watch my YouTube videos and learn about how I trade. Right now, I am being patient. Somebody has not been following the first rule of Pete's Trading Club. What is that? Not been following the first rule. What's the first rule? I have a trading club? I don't know what the rules are. What's the first rule? First rule is I don't want to know what you're trading. Rule number 1. Frank Club. I don't know it. Okay, there you go. Never say I'm old. Yes, I'll have a push-up competition with you. Let's go, Carbon. Yeah, if you say I'm old, it's automatic push-up competition. Just curious, how many push-ups can you do at one go? I don't know. Because I do them in spurts, and I don't even count. Like yesterday, I worked out yesterday. Today was rest. I did push-ups 3 times. So I do some, and then I do some other stuff, and then I do them again. You know, that kind of thing. And the first time I go kind of easy. It's like a warm-up. And then the second and third time I really push myself. But in one go. We'll have to do it sometime, Eric. First rule was you don't talk about fight. Ah, okay, gotcha. Are we looking to short your dollar? It's very possible. Yes, very possible. I'm not sure if you're familiar with how I trade, but I'm looking for weakness selling up here. There's a lot of stop losses here. That's part of the game. A lot of people that went short through here have their stop losses, a whole bunch of them up there. And typically you got to go hunt that stuff, and not a conspiracy. It's real. Not your broker. It's just the smart money. Typically in this situation, we'll see. But the template, the classic move right now would be to pop up quickly, right? Like a bar like this, or even bigger. And see lots of volume on it. Pop up, get squashed down quickly, right? Close off of the high on that bar. Confirm it as weakness, start to come down. And from there, look for the entry, which is basically a test for demand. Make sure that buying is inactive along with that selling. And look for that short. And it could be very big. One hour, well, the thing is, first thing that comes to mind when we say that is, and I get why you're saying absolutely. If you wait a whole hour, price could be down here already. You really miss it. That's the first thing. And if you're actually talking about confirming weakness from 1 hour point of view, you'd have the candle close, and then you have to wait a whole other hour after that. That could happen in the beginning of an hour, or it could happen, with 30 minutes left, and then you got to wait a whole other hour. You're like waiting an hour and a half to get in. Price could be down here by then. It's not wrong. Depends how aggressive you want to trade. But the thing is also, it's not like counter background, like as if we were in a markup phase and an uptrend, and then I'm just suddenly reversing off a 5-minute strength during an uptrend. I wouldn't want to do that. This is a particular, first of all, like look at the high, fake break. A lot of times you get another fake break, another fake break. We see that all the time, like I was saying. And this is really just trading a range. So it's not really against the background. It kind of, if anything, is going with it, because this is just simply a range. This is the top of the range. So I wouldn't do that in a strong uptrend, in a markup, yeah. Higher highs, higher low structure, I wouldn't be doing that, no. That takes time. This is just, taking advantage of that simple stuff about trading a range, but also knowing that there are going to be a ton of stop losses here, and it really could be a good one. And very obvious with some high volume. We'll see. But yeah. Eric, very good. EU scalp setup right now, question mark. You want to buy up here? Well, first thing I'll say is the low, as I always say here, if you ask for a scalp setup during an up move, during a trending move, the lower the better volume here. So that's not low. It could have easily just kind of been like the ones before, a little higher, a little lower, whatever, right? But that stands out on the wider side with that reaction. So, seeing that, are you confident that you'd be buying into an area where you didn't see much selling and you'd really be able to get up there? That's the thing. But simply put, yeah, on the scalps, the lower the volume, the better at the recent high if you're going to be buying off of that. So you see it. It's not great. It's like it's got maybe a 60-40 chance or something, But if this was low, particularly low volume, then yeah. And I'd be saying, maybe we are going to continue to trend up. But there's some selling into the up moves for sure. When you see that new high ground. But yeah, technically according to the setup, yeah. Which you probably saw already. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Again, glad I didn't take the London hour trade. That's just kind of looking scary if you went long there on some weakness. How are the yens shaping up here? Okay. That's what we want. Volume. We'd really want to see that kick up. If it doesn't, maybe we go a bit lower to the 618 overshoot. Again, here, you're going to have that same story. It's a reactive move, but now we have to work off of that. And we know there's a lot of stop loss on long positions that are already getting hit. Before we continue up. So that could be the case. Telling you, I'm not the only one that wants this euro dollar short. I really hope it happens. I have to keep moving it over. Come on, 14 EMA bounce. What else? This guy just kind of dying off at... Yeah, I wouldn't want to go short. There's not enough weakness. I wouldn't want to go long. There's nothing to do here. That's not where the action is. So again, we saw some buying there, but we saw a bit too much supply selling to look for the long entry. Once you see that, you're more likely to still come down, maybe test the low, maybe get a fake break, and then we have all that 618 there also, along with the fake break combination perhaps, to show buying again, high volume again. Keep drawing these things in, right? Rank those there. Too much supply. So predictable that it was more likely off of that test with a little too much volume, a little too much selling, to not be able to move up off of that buying yet. The best thing to see, again, is just more buying at lower prices and really show that they're accumulating. This isn't very much lower price. Which, again, it could just do the quick pop here on the 618 overshoot, and maybe we see the volume there. We want to see that they're buying consistently into down moves. And then once the supply is gone or very low, they switch into a different mode, which is marking a price intentionally. I'm going to try to get in right as that is about to begin. We do have some potential classic setups here, right? Even though we got the buck wild background. Patience, patience. Buck wild euro move yesterday. Buck wild yen move today. Reactive moves, take it easy. See what the story is. Why is the euro so high as well as the pound? Weak US dollar, weak US dollar. And that's what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks since we got back January. Weak US dollar. So everything's able to move up against it to some extent. Now, it doesn't mean we can't get a short temporarily, but that's just the overall story of the market we've been seeing. Weak US dollar. Saw some selling early today. consider taking a long. Everything lines up properly on pound yen, while other pairs look and behave weak. It wouldn't be as good probability. So if this sets up really good, and the other ones don't, not likely to do that. That would mean that the yen is most likely not looking great. And you'd be going off pound strength. Ideally, you want strong yen, strong pound, weak yen. So, it would take away probability. Ideally, not what you want to see. But yeah, if the other pairs behave weak, then it's saying that the yen is not helping your trade. And we'd be going long on the pound yen because the pound looks strong, not because the yen looks weak, though. Definitely not an ideal situation. License to style. Thanks for your answer. I see it there is still a war going on in other euro pound. We're way down because of it. Yeah. Now they are flying it. The war is still on. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty big swings, which are tradable in either direction. Again, I might be shorting the euro dollar. That's fine with me for now. No, things don't go in a straight line. But that was just like a more longer, medium-term outlook, which is happening generally. Is that weak U.S. dollar? Sell the pound yen. I would absolutely not do that. You'd be selling into an area of high volume demand. I would not do that. And right now you have a really 50-50 sort of outcome as far as probability, where the buying was very active there. The selling is similarly active, and you're right in the middle of those 2 points. You think of it as the equilibrium. And that's the hardest thing to predict. There is no high probability projection if you're in the middle of that. But if there was lack of supply, we may have already been in it or whatever, right? So we just need to keep moving around until that works itself out. But once this showed up here, you can say, yeah, it's likely to come down. Not something you want to trade, though, because, again, you have strength in the background. We want to imbalance high probability stuff. Okay, very good. You're spelling? No, you're fine. I got you. So we're here. We're hunting. No rush. Again, seeing those reactive moves in the background, I came in already cautious. There wasn't any real picture-perfect entry on the London hour trades. Really no good entry. It's good to not be in a trade and just let things set up on a day like today. Let them figure themselves out, act normal, show us what they want to do. This one is just blaringly obvious. You know how they operate, so it could be that. Yen pairs working themselves out. If smoke a doobie, listen to your favorite, I don't know, what do people listen to anymore? How long have you been trading for now, if you don't mind me asking? It started in 2003. I didn't know what I was doing. 2006, 2007, I started to learn correctly. 2009, I started teaching and sharing my trades. And been a while. Trading before you were born. Wow. There you go, Mr. Carter. chart tells me to do something, I'll do it. Otherwise, enjoy yourself. No pressure. Do you ever consider what they call volume through time? Volume through time. Like the flat consolidation, like market profile? Because isn't that what that is? Or is that something else? What they call volume through time. Like the flat consolidation. No, I'm not sure exactly what that is. Probably total garbage. I don't know. I really don't know. At this point, I really can't imagine anything that I'd want to add to my chart. Unless it's really colorful, then maybe. You started in 2016, also didn't know what I was doing, and then recently started, but started to know what you're doing, yeah. Needing to learn a lot more. I've been making some good profits, my own entries. Very good. Yeah, it's just this whole process of, just the fact that 2016 is not that recent, so that's good. And even if you didn't learn the greatest methods at first, you probably learned crap in the MA crossovers and bullshit types of trading. But all that time you spent looking at the charts, right? That in itself, experience goes a long way. So yeah, you're on your way there. Market profile would be the thing. Okay, yeah. But without the market profile. It's hurt my brain. Just based on price hovering in one area. Nah. Come on. But that's what market profile really is in the end. Again, it's like, volume per price, right? Right here next to our prices, we get volume per price. Sounds so good until you look at it and realize it's volume over time. The longer something sits there, right? There's not high volume here. But price has been here for a while, so you're just going to stick out and show high volume there. I already know that, It's a time price opportunity, whatever they call it. Yeah. And that's what really rules the market profile. Not really saying this pop up here, which is going to have high volume selling. That'll be a little blip on market profile. It could be one bar. One little blip. You know what I mean? Can't find any use for that. The longer price has been somewhere, the more volume you're going to see. That really has no value. And plus, if you really wanted to know, you can just look at the chart. Very thin through here, right? A little more here, obviously. Here. So that's all going to be sticking out, and that'll be low here. And what good does it tell you? I looked at all that stuff. Auction market theory, VWAP point of control. A lot of you guys have heard of that stuff. Not on the chart. So no. That is what I noticed with market profile. I used to put it on my chart and I realized it was redundant. Yeah. What information did it ever give you that was good? It's like nothing. Unless you go on hardcore market profile, auction theory trading, which again to me is just no. It just doesn't seem like high win ratio stuff. So we're taking it easy today. If we get dips on the yen pairs, we may get some more strength to show us accumulation is being consistent, sustained buying through the lower prices. If we move up on them rather than seeing those lower prices, we can see if supply, this is automatic rally, right? Wyckoff. We can see if supply is gone if we do move up. Generally, in these cases, it's good to see increases in volume at lower prices. This isn't much. We're kind of getting slow. I really would like that dip and to show, not once but twice buying in this area before a lack of supply, and then we move up. So that would really help. But that's the deal on the yen pairs. We have our automatic rally. I draw it with that line so you know what it is. One more dip there. Could bring it together. And you know, we want to hunt these stops. Come on. Evil laugh. As all the sellers chasing that move yesterday just completely get destroyed by this point. They're very nervous. All right, 1 second. I'll be right back. We'll get caught up on the chat.
Shut your fucking mouth, I'll give you what you came to say. Paint my face, I'll play the villain, put the blame on me.
All right. Oh, that's what we want. Let's make sure those buyers are serious down there on the yen pairs. Back to the chat. I gotta get caught up. Hold on. Oh my god. Hey, we broke 30. We're blowing up on YouTube. All right. My dreams come true. It's getting caught up on the chat. Where did I leave off? When would you know when the euro, dollar, and pound would stop gaining and they crash back down? When would you know? If I'm looking for down moves, I'm looking for weakness. I don't know if you know what that is. High volume rejecting high price. Prices are high, hitting supply, hitting sellers. I mean, generally, if something's moving up strong, you want to see that before selling. I don't know if you know, like the VSA stuff. I think that's what you're asking. Dila Effects. I pronounce everyone's name wrong. So, yeah. Probably. What's up? You again. Welcome back. Tick volume versus cumulative delta. What do you pick? What do you think? Love tick volume. Nothing wrong with that. I don't need to look at anything else. No. Cumulative volume. Yeah. Again, it's one of those things like, oh, it sounds good. Let's see. Am I really learning anything extra here? And is it really affecting any decision I make in the end as far as trading? No. So I stopped looking at it. delta volume, volume inside the bars on the Forex futures. I've done it all. So whatever's on my chart is what I need. That's it. I have learned a lot from you. Very good. And your free stuff's valuable more than garbage paid stuff others are selling on the internet. Yes. YouTube videos are free, and the content is just endless at this point with the live streams. So good. That's the thing, right? If everyone can see it, then it's probably not a very good system to use. I don't know what we were talking about with that. What else? I feel like I'm doing homework. Are we waiting for the automatic rally to be broken and retested on low volume before going short on EU? EU, I would not short yet. That's not enough volume for me on the 5 minute to be going against this strong move. If it starts to come down, I'll consider what's going on. I really want what I drew in there to happen. Or at least some sort of high volume weakness to end such a strong move. Not quite convinced to go short. If it drops, we'll see what it looks like. Pound yen. I think I probably explained that after you asked, but we'll go back to that. What's fact due to VSA method in particular is attention to, and yeah, anyone new here, so we got some extra people. I'm not trading exactly VSA the way it's taught in a software that goes along with it, and labeling every bar sideways, roundhouse, up thrust, reverse climactic action. It's a more straightforward black and white approach that won't hurt your brain, and you don't have to buy software. Combining that with some things from Wyckoff. I took a little Wyckoff, took a little VSA, took a little supply demand from the real world. Why do prices move? And so on. Put together my own little thing here. Anyway, attracting me to VSA and your method in particular is attention to detail that inexperienced traders won't pay attention to, and where retail traders are not looking is where money is. Detail? Oh, yeah. I guess a lot of people are, yeah. Looking for one particular setup or trading off indicators. I don't know. A lot of people. I don't know what they do. But as far as chart questions right now, we'll get back to that again in a second. Get the update. Will I be trading news? I'm not a news trader. I could predict the news pretty well sometimes. But news trading is gambling. News is coming out right now. You click the button. Bad idea. You want to see the reaction to the news move. I let the initial move happen. And then I see what it's telling me to go from there. Matthew Carter, you're new and subscribed. Looking forward to future trades and videos from you. Very, very good. Thanks for attending. Have you ever tried one of the VSA volume indicators on TV Trading View? Yes, I've gone through all of them, and they're all worthless. Even the one I have on here with the colors. It's just red, high volume up moves, green, high volume down moves. I don't need it. I've never seen a volume indicator that has given me any information that's good. The raw data and understanding what you're seeing, your brain is better than the indicator. Don't waste your time. In my opinion. Have you ever, okay, so there we go. Yay. Homework's done. I have a video about indicators called Let's Talk About Indicators. So I definitely recommend that. So the chart analysis, right? Again, with the yen pairs, lower prices ideally are going to show strength again, just like here. It doesn't have to be as high, but the higher the better. That tends to often happen at the 618 overshoot. We see that all the time. A lot of you already know it. New people, maybe not. There's a fib drawn from here to here. Here's your 50 to 618 as a zone. I don't use the other lines. This is a zone that's going to tell us about buyers. They showed up once, sign of strength as you got in there. Here, not so much. And that says maybe they're going to pop it down there and do the overshoot, or at least just the test of it. And that is a very common place in this situation, to see the low and then look to buy. Classic pattern there. So since we're moving down, which was expected after seeing too much supply to go long anyway, let's see, are they consistently buying? So far, not so much, but they could be right there. Because if you watch them long enough and you see them around this 618 area, in this fib zone stuff, you see the pattern. EJ is actually just hitting the zone there, or about to, maybe. Hit that 50. And again, we'll see, right? We're just piecing together the story of this buying and saying, is it going to be consistent on high volume demand again? Some of these really obvious areas, along with being convinced that supply, the selling that we saw here, is actually gone a bit too much. So you could see how it could have high volume, right? High volume again, and then low volume as we move up. And we don't just have to test the automatic rally. We'll get the 14 EMA test along the way. But generally, as prices move up, and particularly at test areas, we get a read on supply, on selling. So we want the good imbalance. High volume buying, low volume selling. High probability up move. But our latest piece of information down here, right, is they did not so much eagerly buy. As far as the activity, right? Can't hide the activity. Which, again, in this type of situation, you'll tend to go a little lower until you find it. Now, as far as shorting that, I wouldn't do that. I didn't short there because I wouldn't short into an area that has large buying. So that's why this short didn't happen. So that should have you caught up on the yen pairs, right? So that's just the projection, or the bullish projection, and the usual pattern. If things change and do something else, like it comes down and we don't see high volume, or something changes, we'll take in the new information and change the projection, see what they're up to. But that's the template right now. So that should have you caught up on the situation with the yen pairs. I mean, generally, as you back out, you have this yen thing that happened today, where everything moved up against the yen dropped. Everything moved up against it. And the way it behaved was not any sort of trap move. It was a Bank of Japan doing something. And we didn't suddenly reverse, or, it wasn't a quick stop hunt or any sort of maneuver like that. It was a reactionary real move. So from there, we just need like normal behavior. Let's see what's next. And it's starting to brew with some buying and maybe some more buying, right? We're just looking for the next move now. We got that stuff back there. The more information we get now, the better. Back to normal. So that's the deal with the yen pairs. And then again, euro dollar. I wouldn't want to be buying up here. There's some weakness. It's really late. It's really chasey. And when you're dealing with a range, I'm looking to buy low, sell high, particularly fake breakouts, stop hunts. It would be a perfect classic trade there, high probability. We pop up there and reject, look for the setup. Again, all this stuff is just projection. A lot of times this does happen. You get 3-4 moves right. You predict them and you get into a trade. But again, if things change, well, okay, we have new information and we take that in. Good. Is this the welcome to the best Forex day trading analysis anywhere? Yes. Join the Pro Traders Club, $99. You get a discount code G Fuel No, none of that. I got your affiliate links, pyramid structure business going on. It's to pyramid scheme. I do have a course. But like I say, the YouTube videos are free. If that's not your thing, fine. Watch the YouTube videos. The actual course is just all my material presented in an organized way, covering every detail. But again, I'm live trading and explaining all this stuff, so whatever works for you. I'll still answer your questions either way. You don't have to give me any money. Join now, Pro Traders Club, guys. February special. I don't know why I do the accent. Hello, welcome. I wonder if you guys can. I don't think you can. I'm not sure. Or maybe there's a setting that I have to do for it. But if you can go back in the live stream, or it just forces you to watch in real time, I think you can go back, right? So, like for people who are just joining in the last few minutes, we're leaving. Blowing up on YouTube, baby. Yeah. I just did an analysis kind of update, so you watch the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you kind of get it all. See what happens here. I'm not in a trade now. I passed on a couple of potential setups. Weren't quite good enough. Buckwild reactive moves to our left on the chart. Let's get things orderly again. No rush. I'm taking it as that kind of day. Still hunting this thing. Could be U.S. session. Just saying, you'll know when you see it if it happens. High volume rejection. Big break. But if we start to move down, we'll get a read on things. Nothing wrong with a 14 EMA entry if we're not seeing strength, or we have a nice momentum. So we're flexible. We can go either way. This guy's just ranging and stuck in the middle. Got a wedge going, so I wouldn't touch that. This is taking like an hour to complete its break test continuation pattern. Gonna continue or not? Bit of weakness. Not a great situation either way to predict. But these are interesting. We'll watch this, I guess. Yeah. The latest piece of information is the buyers could have really stepped up here where they bought before. And they didn't. I think that was Pound News also, which was what, Light Impact? Was it? 4:30 my time. Yeah. Light Impact. So news is gonna, just give you that extra volume. Maybe it's not so serious and they're gonna buy lower or see what the deal is. But we don't see much additional buying down here. But especially if we get into this new low ground below that, into the fib area, and we're not seeing any volume buying coming in, you got to say it looks bearish, right? Besides the news volume, if there's just no strength coming in, no reason to be buying, you could actually look to sell. Particularly low volume at certain points that really tell you about buyers. And if they're not there, they're not there. You got to call it bearish. So we could end up going either way, whatever the chart says. Patience, patience. Yeah, I can be picky and get enough trades. 1 to 2 trades a session, 2 to 3 hour session. Works for me. Keep the standards high. Stay picky. Occasionally you get no trade. That's fine. Not up to me. Charles got to give it. But at least we're moving pretty normally after all that stuff that went on. Went buck wild. So, being patient, see what we get. Yeah, that's starting to be telling that the high volume buying did not show up here. Going kind of flat and quiet too. Well, the Australian dollar is kind of dead. Best to avoid that until it picks up. And again, AU has a wedge going, so that's really, I'll just avoid the Australian dollar right now. But yeah, this was the place where that buying could have showed up. If it's not, it's going to start to look bearish. That was news volume, and on we go. And nice momentum to the downside. And especially if we're starting to come into here, we're not seeing strength come in. If we don't see it, could end up with something like that. Maybe catch a short scalp to 618. Got a crazy shorting in here, but you got to believe the chart. If there's real lack of demand, perfectly valid scalp it could be. So we got options. Yeah, I keep going back to that euro dollar because that's, if I had one trade I could take today, it would be the short off of this. Higher the volume, the better. Give me that wide spread. Somebody get it over with. Some entity out there has to do this. The Lehman Brothers. Yeah, that's it. Both of them. Money games. Candles, bars. Yeah, I call them candles still by habit sometimes. And by strength, you mean volume spikes above a couple of candles. When it comes to this stuff, the higher the better. So you get an actual like read of how good it is. So if it's the highest volume of the day, well, besides this, buck wild, forget that. I don't need that. That's a rare high volume. But let's say it's the highest volume of the day, that would be the best. Like realistically, it could happen, right? And as you get lower and lower and lower, you're losing probability, and you have to have some standards. But you see, like for example, this volume here, not quite good enough. Again, if we're going against a don't text me right now. Going against a really strong momentum, and this is not something I invented. You do want to see the higher, climactic volume, as it's called. We have a climactic experience. So really high volume. If you're trading against a strong trend, which we would be here. So that's a factor. It should be high. Again, though, if it ends up that this selling that came in, this selling, this bit of selling. If that all ends up bringing it down, right, and we're not seeing any issue with demand, and we're really getting this lower low, lower high structure, I'll believe it that it's bearish. If it's not showing buying, you know, I have to kind of go with it. I don't think everybody knows exactly what's happening yet. As far as the smart money, I don't think they're all have aligned ideas just yet. I think they're still kind of feeling it out. There's a lot that want this. I think we're gotta get lined up a bit. Some buying here that didn't continue. Again, it's one of those days I said coming in. Be patient, let them figure it out after that crazy background stuff. Euro drop yesterday. Yen insane drop today. See a few moves, let them figure it out. You want a high probability situation, you kind of need that. Good. But yeah, we start at just before the second hour of London session. I skipped the first hour because I don't take trades during that time. Second hour, we look for the setups immediately, London hour trade. And sometimes, more days than not, we are getting that. So, been all wins in January on that. And then there are days where, gotta be patient. It's a possibility. Selling into a fib area like that seems crazy, but if you think about the fact that it tells you about buyers factually and they're just not showing up factually. Did I say factually? Then yeah, maybe. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? It'll tell you about buyers. I don't see them. If buyers were really looking to get active, they would be doing it in this zone. If you notice, the pound yen hasn't shown new low ground, I guess, besides that. And there's not much volume on that. But this clearly has gone lower, showed lack of buying in the fib area, right? It's a little more dependable. We don't really know what lurks on the pound yen. Sharks. Australian dollar's just dead, so yeah, I'm not even worried about that right now. Not where it's at. Was the best single month? Who knows? I mean, right now until April is really nice, and then October, November. Generally, those are all the best to me. Not really a single month stands out. March is a good month. March kind of stands out as always being good. But yeah, I like this time of year. May, maybe start to lose it. June, July, August would be my least favorite. September, maybe take a little time to warm up and get going. October, November, always good. And this past December, we went pretty far into the month. I think we traded up until close to Christmas Eve. We even kept trading. You never know what you get. That was good. Very nice end of the year. Lots of scalps. And then things changed a bit. Euro looking weak. EJ, no issue with buyers. Potentially, this is possible. Looking for the short here. If you know my scalp setup, that's good. All good there. So see, we test the 14 and get that. Is the dollar ready to bounce for now? Maybe. Gotten a bit quiet. You gotta keep moving this. Not giving up. This thing comes around. But like I said, if we just start trending down and there's some momentum going on to this and some good structure, I can look for short entries. So either way. Get rid of that for now. Yeah, you really see that lack of buying. And not just anywhere, in the fib areas. That really tells you there's a good chance to get to 618. Very high probability. So at least get there. That's a decent scalp. And then, testing the 14 EMA will actually give me an entry, and I'm not just going to sell because of that. I gotta stick to my entries. So could happen in the next 5-10 minutes if we just do that. All right, good job, everybody. We're down to 11. 29. That was weird. Hey, who's messing around here? What was that? Rock music. The old people music now. Oh my God. Oh, yeah, 1992. What a year. Yeah, had to be there. Last 10 again. What's that? We got various styles. Sometime soon I'm going to add, definitely by next week, I got to add more songs to the playlist. 13 songs goes by fast. These are songs I can play and I don't get the copyright claim. So looking for a potential EJ short. Very high probability we're going to get to that 618 level. I just need an actual trade entry. This is telling us not much buying coming in on the euro. This is now, officially a failed breakout of this level coming back in, and there's not much buying there. So it looks like the euro is just gonna start really coming down. It's real deal stuff. Very possible here. Looks real. So I could get with that on the EJ short. Let's go. Yep, I am patient, if you want to call it that. Or just waiting for a correct trade, otherwise not taking a bad trade. But I know how it is, especially when you're new. I was that guy. Over trading. A low volume off EMA to short. As far as this volume here, as far as the test of the 14 EMA on EJ. I think you're asking that, right? Like, what are we looking for on the volume there? Which is not really any particular thing we're looking for volume-wise. It would be if we go higher, we would want to see weakness. If weakness shows up, that's kind of a bonus. Nothing in particular needed. It's more about the price behavior. Price action, as they say. Typically, these setups have, if you know the morning star, evening star pattern, you could Google it. You get some, a lot of times you'll get that actual pattern or some sort of variation on it. Maybe it's a little stretched out because you sat there a little longer. But you'll typically get like a wide spread, a small doji, and then start to move down off of that. That's getting to the point on the pattern. It could be any variation off of that. That's more important than volume. Typically in these cases just kind of stays flat. If you happen to see weakness, that's nice. You don't really need it. That's you, Mr. Carter. A little too eager. You bought pound yen yesterday, went to sleep, and woke up and it had a rocket up. So, okay, well, that's good. That's a lucky catch. Is that what we bought yesterday, the pound yen? Yeah, we bought pound yen yesterday. I was not in it still for that move, but yeah. Looks so small compared. Where did we buy yesterday? We bought like here. And then we had that move. That was like a 40 pip total move there. That was my trade. If you caught that, hey, party time. Nice one. Euro dollar. I'm not worried about missing anything. But yes, thanks for pointing it out. We could get a break test. Oh, this guy just draws, man. He doesn't take any trades. Just strong lines. Break test continuation pattern. How's EJ? I don't care. I'm waiting for my setups. That's cool. Well, you're getting experience. See all kinds of things going on. Surprise moves. So again, looks like real deal stuff at the with the euro wanting to move down. Dollar index maybe turn around. We get this move going. Generally on the dollar pairs. So that would be a setup I'm looking for there. So a couple of ways potentially to get in the short the euro. Main thing here is meet up with the 14 EMA, see how it behaves. Typically, if you look around, unless it's some crazy move like that, typically trending moves do get to the 14 EMA. So if you kind of just look to the left at how often that happens, you kind of realize, oh, okay, those are the best places to short scalp or get in with the trend, and ride it, whatever. So that's why I'm looking at that. Nothing complicated. But it's important that we're not seeing demand come in, which we did here. That's why I didn't short that. But here, we don't see it. There we go. Can we get there? Same here. Again, like you see, if this is a real move, it's going to be going on for a little while. It's more likely than not to give you one of these 14 EMA situations. Otherwise, you're chasing. You don't know what's up there. You're chasing breakouts. This way you get to see what you're selling into. It's likely you're going to try to break it if it looks right. And at least give you a scalp when you kind of manage it from that point. How do you get the... this is the 14 and the 50 EMA. Exponential moving average. The colors don't matter, but 14, 50, EMA. None of these colors matter. I just like them. Don't need them. But you see the name of the indicators if you want. CMA is colored moving average. You can find this stuff. Make sure you're on the EMA. EJ. Almost. Not quite. I can move this now. So we can see it. And it can overshoot. Lots of things overshoot. If you notice, again, the behavior certainly goes above for a bit, but you see the behavior where it stops and pauses and then starts to pull away. So we can certainly go, following that sort of pattern that it likes to do a little higher. But for those that are learning, this is a nice way to again, learning, demo, small account, to see this stuff. This is probably one of the first things I would show people and get used to it. The 14 EMA rejections in strong trending moves. The trend really needs to be going. You don't do this stuff, a little move out of a range or something. There's other ways to deal with that. But if you have a strong trending environment and the extreme prices, the highs and lows, in this case lows, are not showing volume, and you get the right behavior there, it tends to try to break the last low. That's a high probability type of move. There and there. Nothing complicated. Real deal move on the euro. That's completely euro driven. The dollar index is a little more weighted towards the euro, and it's being reflected. But if you look at the lack of any real down move, Australian dollar versus the US pound, right? Sideways range. So this is completely euro driven. So if I'm taking the short scalp, that's nice, but I would like to see generally that the dollar is pushing down things as well, which is not the case right here. So you would have weak euro, strong dollar, much better probability. Again, if you're new, we got a couple new people. It looks like I have these ridiculously, it could probably seem this way today, right? Ridiculously high standards for getting into trades. Like, you have to exactly do this and that. But, yeah. Within our 2 to 3 hour session, we usually see this stuff at least once. For me, that's good. And you may get a few throughout the day. That works for me. Quality over quantity. But yeah, asking for a 14 EMA test. Usually not too much to ask for. Trend's going to go. You might get it again here. If I miss it, I miss it. That's fine. I definitely wouldn't just be selling, hoping that it's just going to keep doing this. Noob move. If we had higher volume weakness, I would have been in sooner. I would have been in already. Some of this low volume, lack of demand, high volume, not enough. And again, this was, and it may happen later. I'm not the only one thinking this stuff. But maybe there's just not enough buying to get it up there, and things are just going to go. That's fine too. Likely going to give us some sort of entry. Totally euro based. Right? Euro move. Euro driven move. I'd rather have the dollar and the yen drive things unless I'm trading the London hour trade. So hey, if we get some strong US dollar generally pushing things down on the dollar pairs, then that'll be nice. Yeah, man. We're here.
Says the best thing we can do is mind our own business, let the rest of the world go hang. What's the matter with you?
No cause, just protection. Things got worse. No side effects. Inhaled stress hurts. Love suggestions always first. But when that drive is to kill you, brother, stay alert. Only numbers, digits can identify you. The magic system, some say we doomed.
Like I said, the euro move looks like the real deal. I just wait for a proper setup. As far as my entries, it's the main thing going on. It would be nice to have some, like I said, dollar strength along with that, or yen strength if I'm shorting that.
Ignorance, bigger person, her and time got you close box for the close-minded. Don't find it strange, same car, pull up, take 10, most time have. Fucked up my stash. I don't fucking on a payback, Galito. I've been Dito, move on a double, move that stash. When you get out of the trouble, if you did it right, the highlight of my life. A drive-by for the night, maintain, refrain the fuckery. They don't even know Central Lab, G. Where they let go, take the metro, then you meet this shit.
Don't say it, mister.
I give love, 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 love me now. I give it all, love, I want it back. Love, I love it all. I make sure I give love, 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 love. I give love, 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 love me now. I give it all, love, I want it back. Love, I love it all. I make sure I give love, 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 love.
Thought you were asleep.
So yeah, again with this euro situation, like I'm really, first of all, fine that I'm not in it. Absolutely fine. There's a lot of activity on the euro for this time of day. It's not the usual behavior. We know we had that crazy move in the background yesterday on the euro that didn't happen on other pairs. That was euro driven, and now we completely reversed it. It'd be nice to have some higher volume there to short. Didn't get it. And then, again, a lot more focus on the euro today, activity-wise. Right? Not normal. Right? You see this? And again, our setups are most of the time, ideally, besides the London hour trade, driven by the dollar and yen, which really have nothing to do with this euro situation, right? And that's why it's coming down. So it's not the usual. Very active, volatile euro right now. And, you know, we want that usual patterns, usual behavior. Kind of all about that right now, whatever's going on with it. Which I don't care why, but that is what it is. Doesn't mean I won't short if there was a setup, needed a setup, but ideally, again, the U.S. dollar is showing strength generally. Not this is again really reflecting the euro. These guys are not moving down. So it's an unusual situation, right? If you're familiar with this time of day and the correlation that goes on, very unusual that this is just happening here. It is what it is. Whatever attention is, extra attention and activities going on with the euro right now. Whatever the heck it was, news, whatever. But it's not the usual stuff. In this condition, if I end up with no setup, makes perfect sense. That's fine. Buck wild background. Still seems a bit reactive. Like, where's the weakness in this down move? Not the usual. Well, maybe still kind of reactive with the euro situation. Nope, not in the trade. Unusual day. Setup is a setup, but I didn't get any. But unusual day. The euro's taking the spotlight. What was it? What did they do? What happened yesterday? Yeah, bit out of the ordinary. Fib, I don't even have one drawn here. Low volume break of fib. Not really something I look for. Did I get that in there right? Low volume break here. Haven't done that sort of thing in a long time. I want my 14 EMA test, man. But having said that, yeah, I mean, the lower the better, right? Volume as it's breaking through here, and you get a solid close or two on the 5 minute on lower the better volume, it's likely going to support, yeah. Likely going to continue. Maybe finally a retracement on the euro here.
Locking all your hopes into your tiny little dreams, because you think the world is just too big to ever see. So you push them all away, you leave them far behind. What's the use in taking chances in this godforsaken life? This godforsaken life, when you see the sign.
So, yeah, conditions are perfectly good still for the euro short scalp. It is, again, really just dependent on the euro, which is unusual for this time of day to be so active. And really the only reason for the trade is, like, I tend to trust it less. But if we can get a little help from the dollar or the yen, depending what we end up taking, which would be this sort of thing starting to happen. We'll see. We'll see. But I did make that the last video I made, besides the live streams, what's driving your trade? That explains what I'm talking about here, if you don't know. Yeah. Hate to disappoint. It'll be more disappointing than no trade. Yeah, you know. A losing trade, yes. Might be one of those days. I mean, things are moving. It's just unusual behavior. It may look normal, but it's not. So euro focused. Look at the pound dollar moving up. It's a bit chaotic, isn't it? Pound dollar popping up, euro melting, Australian dollar sleeping. Buyers show up, then they don't. Bit unusual, as normal as it kind of looks at first glance, right? Bit unusual. But you kind of get the idea that money's being moved around, and it's reactive, and it's not normal business as usual here, right? So, yep. I'll still look for stuff today. Make sure you're in the Discord. Hopefully Wixie's around so I don't have to watch the chart. You can just tell me if there's a setup. Where you been, Wix? Making me work. So yeah, I think I'll call it a day on the session for now. Know what I'm saying? Happens every now and then. But at least things are moving and plenty of time for opportunity today. Still. But again, it's not normal behavior still. So much attention, so much activity on the euro now. Very unusual. All this at this time of day. And the pound dollar and the euro dollar going complete opposite directions. It feels like, again, money's getting moved around for the purpose of it having to be moved around, maybe, rather than our normal supply-demand game and all this business. It's like the euro has to come down now because it has to come down. And that's it. We didn't get a lot of pre-positioning short or anything. So yeah, I want to see normal behavior, but meanwhile, technically wasn't a setup. So it all matches and makes sense to me. I'm good. I'll keep my 7-0 squeaky clean record going. I don't force anything. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Good. Glad you enjoyed at least. A little educational stuff, a little something worth the time. And just knowing what it is right now. It's a little weird. Let it work itself out. All right, cool. Come back tomorrow. See you then. Take care.